live, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining me here. My name is Matt. I'm from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy Monday. Every Monday, we're live right here on YouTube, hanging out with you, talking about Royal Caribbean cruises. So thank you for joining us here each and every Monday. If you're in our chat, hello, chat. And if you're not joining us live, I'm so sorry to hear that. But next time, come join us live here on our live chat here every Monday on YouTube, because it's just way more fun because you be part of the crowd here. And we are here to answer as many Royal Caribbean cruise questions as possible. Lots of friends already in chat. I see Ron Ladowski here. Mark Hamill is here. Five Trit is here. Bell Eager, hello. Barb Loves Cruising. David Wills, hello and welcome. Brian Myers, hello. Grace is here. Hello, Amberly. Susie Junko. Rebecca Ball is joining us as well. John DiMuccio. It's been a long time, buddy. Good to see you. Joseph Tricario, hello and welcome. Jocelyn is here. Chance Carroll, what's up, Chance? Mikey joining us as well. We got Carlos in here. Gary Miola Jr. Cam Jones checking in from Connecticut. I am wearing my Whalers t-shirt, representing. Go Whalers. Thomas D, hello. Welcome all. Thanks for joining us here. Joe checking in from IKEA Return Line in Miami. Good luck, bro, with that one. My goodness. That is a, you might be there for the whole show. I hope not. But welcome, one and all. And we are here to answer as many cruise questions as we can during this hour. So please feel free to drop your cruise question in chat. April from Utah, dreaming of anywhere tropical. Well, that's not Florida right now because it's way colder down here. Hey, Nick is here. Nicholas lives in Singapore. And Nicholas writes, cruising day, going to the terminal in a few hours. What? Oh, I knew your cruise was coming up. I didn't realize your cruise is in a couple hours. OMG, am I jealous? I am more jealous than Sherry from Cruise Tips TV after driving right up and passing the dollar store on her way to JCPenney. I can't believe it. I can't. Oh, I am so jealous. Nick, I hope you have a great time, my friend. Share some photos, dude. Oh, so jealous. PKV64, first time watching the live stream, but I've watched many of your posts on YouTube. Very, very informative. Thanks for all the great info. PKV, welcome. Glad to have you here on the lives, and I appreciate you watching not only our YouTube videos, but also coming on here and talking some Royal Caribbean. Even better. RJ wants to know, when are the test cruises going to start? It's a great question, RJ. Let's jump right into it. And the answer is we don't know. Royal Caribbean, nor really any of the cruise lines, have given any kind of hint as to a timetable. In order for test cruises to begin, the cruise lines have to first pass another step. The first step with the CDC is to essentially validate that all the crew members that are currently on board the ship are COVID-free. And in addition to that, they have to establish and build testing facilities on board the ship so that they can properly handle passengers later on. So that's step one. And that needs to be completed beforehand. And then once that's complete, then the cruise lines have the potential to do the test sailings. There has been no indication of when that might occur. In terms of what Royal Caribbean is saying, officially nothing. Some executives have hinted that, at one point December test cruises were possible, but I think it looks more like January now. I think also, don't forget that while December is a big month and we're in the beginning of the month still, of course, the holidays coming up in the last 2 weeks, I think put a wrench into a lot of these plans. So we don't know yet. Obviously, I will share any information about test cruises whenever they occur, but there's no timetable yet. Ahmed from Egypt, from the Pyramids land, Egypt. What's going on? Welcome. Good to see you. We had a question from Stacy Lamperez. When do they usually start decorating ships for Christmas? Right around now, right around Thanksgiving is usually when that occurs. So, Mark Hamill wants to know, do you think Fort Lauderdale will be one of the start locations or just Miami and Canaveral? It seems to be Miami and Canaveral, but there's really no way to know, Mark, because, of course, Royal Caribbean hasn't said anything yet. So, Jackie Orellano. Hello, Jackie. Will we be going out in April, or have they canceled already? They have not canceled those cruises, Jackie. Right now, the Royal Caribbean cruises are only canceled through the end of February. And beyond that, it's too early to know really what's going to happen with any of those. So Unfortunately, I don't have the answer for you. No one has the answer for you, Jackie. There is not an answer to be had. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit, make it a little less headroom. There we go. That's a little bit, I think, better perspective there. Rule of thirds, right? Let's see here. Brian Myers, when will they release November and December 22? They have not. Royal Caribbean has not put out a new deployment schedule, so we don't know exactly when, Brian. But I think it stands to reason probably sometime in the early part of 2021. Again, that could change, but nothing else there. So. Aristotle's here. What's up, dude? I hope all is well. It is. Thank you. Which Italian restaurant in Royal Caribbean is better, Jamie's or Giovanni's? I don't think either is better or worse. It's more of a question of what are you more interested in. Giovanni's is more traditional Italian, and Jamie's is more nouveau Italian, more of a modern take on it. They're both really good. You can still get, pasta and things like that. I love them both for different reasons. I think the pastas are a little better. They're more in Giovanni's. But I also think that some of the dishes are more eclectic. The menu is more varied, and there's some really cool options like the planks and the appetizer menu over at Jamie's. So they both have their advantages, no question about it. So Jane Smith, onboard testing will be rapid rather than PCR, right? We're not exactly sure yet. I do know for a fact that in Singapore, in the terminal, they're doing PCR tests. The rapid test would be an option, obviously, to be able to, I'm feeling sick. Okay, that's going to be a rapid test, right? But I'm pretty sure that the PCR tests are a major component of what they're looking to do, not to mention the fact that PCR testing is getting easier, faster, and cheaper. So there's a lot of things going on. But the bottom line is, the most important takeaway from your question is Royal Caribbean for North American cruises and European cruises has not announced anything right there yet, anyway. April, any news about Canada opening ports by May? There's been no news on that yet, unfortunately. So, PKV, my wife and I are booked on our first cruise, Mariner, March 22nd from Port Canaveral. Nice. Love Mariner of the Seas. Great. Ruben Howard, yo, back at you, buddy. Madden wants to know, what day will Oasis begin sailing again? We don't know. Royal Caribbean has canceled all cruises through the through the end of February. Theoretically, cruises could restart in March, but it remains to be seen. So we'll have to see on that. Sarah, it seems the cruise lines are waiting for the vaccine in order to start deployment in the U.S. If that's so, they could require it. I think, with all due respect, Sarah, I'm not sure that the conclusion that they're waiting for the vaccine in order to start is accurate. Royal Caribbean and all the cruise lines, you're right, have not been very transparent in what they're doing. But that doesn't mean that they're necessarily simply waiting for cruises to start, for vaccines to be released. I think certainly that the vaccine is going to help really everybody, including the cruise lines, a lot. But if you think they're sitting on their hands right now, the cruise lines sitting on their hands and being like, well, I guess we'll just wait for the cruises to keep saying that. I guess we're going to wait for the vaccine to get out here and then we'll start doing work? Absolutely not. They're a publicly traded company. They have an obligation to their investors. They have their entire plan. The Healthy Sail Panel protocols are predicated on a world that does not include the vaccine. So I think they're very much still going 100% forward. And if the vaccine helps them out at the end, great. Hey, Javon is here. Welcome, Javon. Crystal, have they asked you to go on a test cruise yet? Negative. No. I asked Royal Caribbean last week. I was having a conversation with them. I said, by the way, hey, just because it's us two here, any update on test cruises? And there was no update to give. So, Nicholas, hi Matt. Voyager sailing back to Europe in 22. Any idea which ship will be replacing in Asia? No, not yet, Nick. The ship deployment game is a bit of musical chairs. You get one piece of it at a time. It's like a big puzzle. Until you get all the pieces, it's kind of a guessing game, quite frankly. So, Carlos, when you purchase a 3-night dining package, who or how is it determined what restaurant is the one you'll be assigned the first night? It's kind of random, Carlos, but you shouldn't read too much into that. You can change your first day assignment very easily. I've always been able to do that, Carlos. In fact, I don't even know what it is. I just go on there on the ship, and I'm like, I'd like this, and this, and easy peasy. Yeah. So there's no concern there in terms of of how that's going to work. So you don't have to worry too much about that. Let's see here. Tri-State Killa, what's up, dude? Does FCC stack or just a one-time deal? It is not combinable right now. I know it's a very, very common question. A lot of people have in terms of the being able to combine FCCs. You know, you have multiple FCCs. You can obviously Tri-State Killa. If you have you have a FCC and your spouse has an FCC, you can apply one per person. That's fine. But if you have 3 FCCs in the name of Tri-State Killa, that's only one at a time. So, Ben, when do you think your next cruise will be? My next cruise that I have booked now, because I had one in January, that's canceled now. My next cruise is Harmony of the Seas over spring break. Really hoping that'll happen. I'm not sure it will, but like all the cruises till now, I always hold out hope. I always have that sense maybe it's going to happen. Maybe it's going to happen. Hey, Becky Menken from MEI Travel is here. Welcome, Becky. Good to see you. Welcome. Ruben from New Zealand, hello. JM, any speculated shows coming to Odyssey of the Seas? Yes, there was one JM that I posted about last week, and I forgot the name of it because it's kind of a weird name, kind of. It's on RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. The new show in 270 is called Oceanides, as in Ocean IDES, Oceanides. You can find more details about that at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. I got some photos of what the show looks like. So. Mark Paul wants to know, how about the crew? Any news for them? If you think I have very little news to share for the guests, I have even less news to share about the crew. They're still there, but I don't have any updates on that. A lot of these things, guys, whether we're talking about crew news or anybody's news, we're at the mercy here of what Royal Caribbean has there. So, Cruise Addicts, up, dude. If you have your booking done by a travel agency, you can lift and shift. Of course you can. Absolutely. Kay Palmer, any thoughts on Baltimore sailings? If you live in the Delmarva area or getting to Baltimore is pretty easy for you and doesn't require flying, I think it's a great idea. Hey, Matt Adams here. Great name, by the way. Any thoughts if you have a 9-night cruise booked and it gets canceled? You think you could lift and shift to a 7-night as the CDC not allowing 7 nights right now, or just get a refund? Good question. If it's canceled, you'll have to, I would imagine, to be just another 9-night cruise. If Royal Caribbean cancels it, you have the option, of course, of a 125% future cruise credit or a what's it called? Refund. Jeez, Louise, the brain. And hey, look at that, Cruise Addicts with the super chat. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. I gotta go. I can't because if I heard things. Hang on, I'll get your message there in a second. But here's my advice to you, Matt M. If you got a cruise that's that 9-night cruise, hold out, see what happens. Don't do anything proactively, I would say. Cruise Addicts, thank you again for the super chat. Very kind of you. What are your thoughts on the Grand Suite on Radiance of the Seas? I love Grand Suites. I think when it comes to Cruise Addicts, when it comes to suites, if the price is right for you, absolutely. Staying in a suite is fabulous. Grand Suite, it's the first tier of the real suites, as opposed to a junior suite, which is not really a full suite benefits. But Grand Suite, love it. I think it's a great choice. What a nice way to kind of plus up your cruise experience. So, yeah, I think it's a great idea. Preston, any news on Galveston, new terminal Allure? Everything got delayed about a year. The terminal, that is, Preston. Royal Caribbean, with everything going on, could not commit to continuing with the project, given their financial situation. So they delayed it by a year. And last we heard, Preston, is they're committed to start construction in about April or so of next year, 21. Powerful Female, any word on the release of fall 2022, winter 23 itineraries? Nothing yet. Right now we had the release of Alaska, summer Alaska 22, Europe summer 22, and 7-night or really longer Caribbean summer 22. But beyond that, and all of those, by the way, are out already. Beyond that, we have no other information to share. Hey, Charnel Pickney. Hello, Charnel. Welcome. Robert Ranelli, is it worth booking a cruise now and lock in a price, or should I wait? I think it was saying I'm looking to sail December 21 to February 22. Also, can FCC be used as a deposit? I'll go backwards. Yes, FCC can be used as a deposit. And should you book now? The reason to book now is to lock in the price. I mean, you're putting down a deposit. Deposits are a minimal amount of money. It assures you not only of the room you want, but also the price that you're comfortable with. There's very little risk involved. You can cancel at any point, all the way up to final payment date with no penalty, and get a cash refund for you. Hey, Justin Jessica, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. That's cool. I don't think I've seen the subscription. I don't know why I have a zombie running across my face, but thank you, zombie. Can you go? Zombie guy, get out of here. Thank you. And Enrique, thank you for the super chat. Big Canadian fan, eh? Sorry, couldn't help myself. Would you go for a Caribbean cruise, Alaska, or Europe, safety-wise? I assume you mean COVID, Enrique, right? I assume that's what you mean. And I don't know that there's really, if you're talking about purely COVID, I think it's just, whoa, there's the super chat message. Thank you again, Enrique. And Karina, thank you for subscribing. I know who Karina is. Buenos dias. I really got to move these these alerts off my face. Charles, thank you for subscribing as well. I don't know, Enrique, that there's a benefit, an inherent benefit. One is safer or not safer than another. I think the risk, if we learn anything, is it can happen anywhere. You know what I mean? I think anything's possible, and I think you can make the argument. I can't make the argument. I was going to say maybe Alaska, but I don't even think I think it's too early to know if there's any inherent benefit one way or another. Anna was subscribed. Thank you, Anna, for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate that. Thank you. I gotta get a different. The zombie guy isn't doing the job. I think we got to figure something else out here. We're gonna need something else to put on there. I see Mike Pastori is here. JP joining us as well. Stacy Brown, is Grandeur this season no longer running? I'm sorry, I missed the question. Where did it go? Oh, it's not showing on the website. No, it's still in the fleet. It is still in the fleet right there. She was supposed to leave the fleet, and then obviously she's not anymore. She's staying in Royal Caribbean, but Royal Caribbean also hasn't announced what they're going to do with her going forward. Hey, Beatrice with the super chat. Thank you, Beatrice. Appreciate that. Thank you. Do you guys enjoy? Are you guys liking the new sound effect for the super chat? The CPAS? Do. Brian McNichols, if I unsubscribe and subscribe again, can I get my name on your face? God, I hope not. If that's the case, I'm shutting this thing down immediately. Is the new subscriber thing for these streams? Yeah, it's new. Yeah. I added them last week, but nobody subscribed during the live stream last week, so you guys didn't see it. But I gotta customize that alert because I only have the alert set up for donations and super chats right now. But I'll have to see. Patrick, what's the best time to buy a drink package for it to be cheaper? Good question, Patrick. The best way to get the drink package for it to be cheaper is to buy it as soon as you can and then watch the price. You can always cancel it if the price goes down. When it comes to the drink package, the best strategy is to book it early, and if there's a price drop, you take advantage of the price drop. You cancel and rebook immediately on Royal Caribbean's website. There's no penalty for doing this, and you can do this all the way up until really like a couple days before your cruise. And yeah, I agree, Chow. I got to move it off my face. I will. Let me see if I can do that on the fly here. But I will tell you that I think that when it comes to the drink package, you want to buy it as early as you can and just keep watching that price. But buy it now to lock in the price in case it goes up, because a lot of times the price actually goes up, which is crazy. But it can definitely happen right there. So let me trying to do something. Show live and preview. Yes, that's what I wanted. Okay, we're gonna move it up there. We're going to move it right there. Oh, perfect. All right, now the alert should be over my shoulder. This shoulder. Should be right there. Yes, I'm still here. Okay, we got it. All right, it should be good now. Not on my face. So, should be over my shoulder. Dustin, should I book Harmony or Symphony? Flip a coin, dude. They're both virtually the same. There's not really a compelling... There's nice things about each one. Harmony has Sabor. Symphony has... Playmakers, the shows are different on each ship, but really flip a coin. I don't think you're making a mistake either way. Whatever one's cheaper, whichever one is going to the itinerary you're interested in. So, Stacy, when is final payment due for 4-night cruises? 90 days before the cruise. 90 days. So, there you go. Muhammad, can you bring a fishing rod on the ship? You can. You cannot go fishing off the side of the ship. but it's actually not on the prohibited items list, believe it or not. So, Shane, what are your thoughts on Royal Caribbean raising another $1 billion in shares while diluting existing shareholder stake? I think that at the end of the day, is if you're a shareholder, you want the company to stay in business. You want them to do whatever they need to do to stay in business. I'm not a shareholder, so I can't really, I'm coming at it from maybe a different angle than you are, but a company that is in business is better than a company that's out of business. And that nothing is worse for your shareholder value than a company that goes out of business. So I think that they got to do what they got to do. These are tough times, but they're basically trying to tread water because they know, and I think the market recognizes this. Like, I'm not a stock expert, but I think the market recognizes that when cruising does restart, this is a very profitable company. So, Bird Guy 7, thanks for being a positive light and staying away from the negative clickbait headlines. You're welcome. I really do try not to go all clickbait on you guys and, like crazy photos of me going like, not my style. I don't write headlines like, you won't believe what's coming up next. Nah, not my style here. But, and listen, maybe I'm missing out on some clicks, but I do appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. Let's see here. Karina, what's up, Karina? We need the Royal Caribbean announcement sound, please. That's for the super chats. You get the doo-doo. But I'm glad you like that. Francisco, does Royal Caribbean have an ATM or bank to withdraw money? They do, yes. So there is an ATM on board, and in addition to that, you can go to guest services or the casino and get money out of there. There's a fee for both. The ATM charges you a fee, and guest services charges you a fee along with the casino. Depending on how much money you take out, one or like the ATM or the teller is a better deal. But again, it depends on how much money you're taking out there. So. Ray, will Alert ever get the amplification like Oasis? That's a really good question, Ray. I think the answer is Royal Caribbean has said they want to, but the answer they haven't said is they want to once they actually start getting money and like things get back to quote unquote normal financially. Royal's obviously hurting for money. So the last thing they're going to do is spend any money that they don't absolutely have to spend. Now, when cruises get back into operation and they get a couple ships going and the revenue is not like ridiculously bad, like in the billions of loss, I think they'll have that opportunity to revisit, the upgrades and things like that. But I think that, to be perfectly honest with you, I just don't know when that's going to happen. That's the question. That's the bigger question right there. Paul, how many people are signed up for the Harmony Group Cruise? I am not sure. Becky, I know you're in here in chat. If you have an opportunity, I know Becky's very busy because she's helping a lot of people running a company, but they would have that information. I don't pay too much attention to the numbers, Paul, until we get to the final payment date, because that's a much better indication of what to expect. But I will tell you, Paul, anecdotally, it seems a lot of people have been booking that Harmony Group Cruise because it's, everyone missed out on cruises for 2020, so it makes sense to move it forward, so. Muhammad, can you bring your own food or drinks on the ship? You can bring your own packaged food on the ship. That's no problem, though. You don't really need to. And in terms of drinks, you can bring up to 12 bottles or cans or whatever of non-alcoholic beverages on embarkation day only. So, PKV, how often does a space launch coincide with either departure or arrival? As you said, I realize this depends a lot on things. Yeah, it's more of a coincidence. I mean, has it happened? Of course it's happened. But it's pretty rare. I would say that it's more rare than anything. It's not a common occurrence. I can't think of that I've ever seen it on there. It certainly has happened, but it's not, like I said, I wouldn't characterize it as, I really don't even remember the last time it happened. I'm sure it has, but yeah, so. Let's see here. Crystal, thank you very much. Appreciate the kind words. I am Marshall. Do you think I'll have to wear my mask at all times around the ship on the Quantum Cruise in May, or will it be similar to MSC's policy? Right now, Marshall, and I can only tell you based on what right now, based on what's happening on Quantum of the Seas in Singapore, based on what's happening right now, the answer is you have to wear it everywhere on the ship unless you are in your room, you're actively eating like you're at a restaurant, you're on an activity like the Flow Rider, things like that in the pool. But that's the rule until further notice. When that will change, when they'll relax those rules, you might as well ask me for the winning lottery numbers. I think I've probably have an equal chance of guessing that correctly. So, Shane, do you know all the words in the Wash Your Hands song? I don't. All I remember is wash your hands. It's the right thing to do. Something about making your mama proud or something like that. So, Stacy, are there any MEI travel agents in Michigan? There may be MEI travel agents in Michigan, Stacy, but their location is irrelevant. And I mean that not as a negative thing. It's a good thing. It doesn't matter where they are. They're all over the country, and they do a great job. You don't need, this isn't, old school where you walk into their office, sit down, and make an appointment. No, they work from anywhere. And that makes it even better because then you get the best of the best. You're not limiting yourself to who's in your neighborhood or your state for that matter. So I don't, there may actually, there may be an agent or two that lives in Michigan. It's possible. Becky, I don't know if you know that. Becky says, our agents are spread around the U.S., but again, you don't have to be in their state to take advantage of their services. So it's a common question. So Jason saw a rocket launch on the last night of our cruise, the first week of March. Nice. Carlos, have you heard any other news on the first roller coaster cruise that has sailed already? Quantum of the Seas? Not a lot, actually. It's funny. We had a lot of information about that first sailing, but in my opinion, no news is good news. But yeah, Quantum should have done... She should be on cruise number 3, I believe, right? Has it been? Maybe not. Maybe it's getting. If it's not, it's going to be like tomorrow. I think actually it's going to start like today because Nick, who's in our chat or was in our chat, Nicholas, is going on there. So that's actually cruise number 3 right there, which is great. Aristotle, with 3 specialty dining packages, do you still have to pay an extra fee for Izumi Hibachi? Yes, depending, Aristotle, on what you order there. So if you go to Hibachi, you have to pay a little bit extra for certain items on the menu. There's a flat fee for that, but there's Izumi Hibachi has a 2-tier menu. So there's the base menu, and then there's like an extra cost, like you want to move up to the other thing. So it depends on what you want to do there. But yes, there is an extra cost there, but it's a one-time thing. It's well worth the money, no question about it. Jack, once cruising starts back up, how will the Windjammer operate under COVID? Well, based on what we've seen on Quantum of the Seas, it's going to be full service. So you won't serve yourself. Somebody will get it for you. You'll say, I'd like to have that prime rib, and they hand it to you, and that's it. So pretty straightforward. We've seen photos of this again over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com if you want to check it out of the of what's going on Quantum of the Seas there. But it looks really cool. I am... Having seen those photos, I don't know about you guys, but I was looking at those photos of Quantum of the Seas, and man, I miss cruising so much. I mean, I knew I missed cruising. We all knew that, but seeing it again and being like, there's a cruise going on right now, and it's happening now. Someone's going on a cruise, and it's not me. Talk about FOMO, right? Talk about fear of missing out. It's not fear of missing out. I'm just missing out, and I'm super jealous. Let's see here. Tony Diaz almost forgot it's Monday. What? How can you possibly forget? That's crazy talk right there. Tony almost forgot. Guys, can we get a "Oh Tony" in chat? Because come on now. Am I renovating my office? Kind of. We had water damage in the office a couple weeks ago. I'm actually getting a new bookshelf. That should be arriving later this week. So theoretically, next week, you guys can see it up there. So, Nick, I heard the buffet is not available for dinner. That's correct. Yes, I've heard that was one of the announced policies right there, if you will, that it won't be open for dinner. But you guys will have to see on there. So, holy moly, we got a big super chat from Jason Chen. Thank you, Jason. I hope vaccines will be available soon, as we all need to go on cruises again. I volunteered to take phase 3 trial by Johnson 2 weeks ago. Ooh, cool, man. Thank you, Jason. That's very kind. Thank you for the super chat. And I think that, in terms of the vaccines, here's what I will tell you. I think this is the most objective comment I can make about it. There's the ding ding. Oh, look, it's over my shoulder. I fixed it. Here's what I will say about the vaccine. That it will help the cruise lines rather than hurt them, in the sense that, if the vaccine, eliminates this public health emergency that we're in, I feel like that's going to be that's going to help the case for cruises to restart, because it's not a public health emergency. That's the biggest issue right there. So, let's see here. You should sing for Tony, Carlos says. Well, Jan is here. Hello, Jan Fagan. Welcome. Well, Matt, wondering about Izumi, would I be able to bring a bottle of my favorite sake to enjoy? Of course you can. Absolutely. You can bring any wine you'd like to, Jan, on board the ship, as you know, and they'll be happy to help you out with that. I can't imagine that'd be an issue. So, yeah. Mark McGill says, Tony, hit the bell notification button, right? Yes. And if you guys haven't already, if you're enjoying this video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel. See that subscribe button and do exactly what Mark just mentioned. Hit that little bell icon so that way YouTube lets you know when I have a brand new video or I'm live so you don't pull a Tony Diaz, right? JP says, are you going on test cruises with the vaccine? Will there be still need to quarantine when you return from your cruise? Good questions. I have signed up as a volunteer, like I think pretty much everybody in here has, or most people have. I've not heard anything beyond that, what to expect there. In terms of the effect the vaccine will have on protocols, remains to be seen. We just simply don't know. It's too early to know exactly what to expect. Hey, Sherry is here. Hello, Sherry. Welcome. Good to see you. Happy Monday. Let's see. Crystal Frank, I've been canceled and used FCC. Now may get canceled again in the spring. Will they combine those? When you can, here's the thing. You can, Crystal, if you have an FCC and you apply to a cruise and that cruise is canceled, when they cancel it on you and you call, or your travel agent calls them to settle up, have them come, you can combine it at that time. That is allowed. So that's the opportunity to combine it into one FCC, and that is a policy that's allowed there. So again, that's what you want to do at that point. Rory is here. After a little problem, I got hooked up big from MEI Travel within 30 minutes. I have 3 sailings booked. Even now, even with one cancel, I received a 25% return FCC. You cannot get that return from any legit bank. There you go. Thank you so much. Kelly Hardy is here from MEI Travel. Kelly, didn't notice you in there, but good to see you again, Kelly. Welcome. Bird Guy, what's the craziest thing you've seen at the adult scavenger hunt? I mean, there's always there's partial nudity. There's dentures, which are just super gross. I don't want to see anyone's dentures out of their mouth. And in their mouth, it's fine. I don't mind, but ugh. That one was, I think there's always, partial nudity is always like, not a prude, but it's never what you want to see. Let's put it that way. Kyle S. is here. What's up, Kyle? Welcome. Aristotle, does the bar have all the Red Bull flavors? I have no idea. Does anyone here, any Red Bull aficionados in chat? I know of Red Bull, but I'm not really a Red Bull drinker, so I am not sure. I didn't even know there were different flavors. I thought it was all just that Sprite-ish flavor right there. Michelle Brewer, I just booked my family's first cruise on Navigator of the Seas, and I'm worried about how the kids club will run with COVID. Michelle, that's a good question. I have not gotten a firm sense of what policies or protocols will be changed in Adventure Ocean. Remains to be seen what those will be. I will certainly report on it at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com whenever that occurs. But I am not aware of what those new policies will be. It's interesting. Quantum has restarted cruising, and we have a look at the protocols there, but we haven't gotten a list of the new rules and protocols for North American cruises. So, yeah, it remains to be seen right there. We'll have to see. There we go. I got some water. Ready for some more questions right there. JP, what do you like to do on Labadee? I rent a cabana. I love renting a cabana. I think that's my go-to favorite thing to do there. I mean, Labadee is a beach day, right? It's Royal Caribbean's private destination in Haiti. It's absolutely beautiful. Been going there for years. Love it. When I go there, I think the best thing to do is go to the what's it called? Cabana. I like renting a cabana because I just think it's such a great value and a great way to kind of plus up your day over there. So, Adrian, will they extend double points now missing out on a lot of points? I don't think so, Adrian, but nothing's been announced. Let's put it this way. Nothing's been announced. Have to see, but I just don't think that's right now in the cards because, again, based on the wording in the promo, the answer is no. Could that change? Sure, it could, but we have to wait and see. So, and let's see here. These are really good questions. Sari, if they will start cruising with reduced capacity, like 30%, what criteria do you think they will use if they already sold like 80%, hypothetically? The last word before your little smiley face there, Sari, is the key word, hypothetically. It's hard to answer a hypothetical of a hypothetical. We just simply don't know. Royal Caribbean has not commented on what that would look like, what kind of how they would handle that kind of situation. In Singapore, they got around the problem by canceling all the cruises and then reissuing them in new sailings, and then they never had that issue because they could only sell what they could sell. I don't know that that's going to be what they'll do here. I kind of doubt that because there's just too many sailings. But you never know. We just simply don't know yet. So, Troy Hummel, what's up, Troy? We just booked today a transatlantic Florida to Rome. How rough are the open seas? Troy, welcome. Congratulations on the new booking. It depends. Some days are really calm. Some days are not. You know, the North Atlantic is notoriously unpredictable. And I think, it's impossible to know. Anyone who's done a transatlantic will tell you that in some cases it's very calm and relaxed and easygoing, and other times people have it really, it's a lot of whoa, whoa. Maybe not that bad, but you know what I mean. It can be. It's the Atlantic is always like that. It's just hard. There's no way to really know what to expect. So, fingers crossed, I guess. Does the internet package work at Labadee? It does not, JJ. I mean, if you're on the ship, the answer is yes. But on the island, they have not yet added repeaters, Wi-Fi repeaters to the island. So it's not an island, it's a peninsula, but you know what I mean. They've not added it there. So the answer is no. But there's no internet signal there at all, so can't use it anyway. Let's see. DX Dodge, you like my Whalers shirt? Thank you. Go Whalers, right? So. I just heard a Discord ping. You did? Oh, really? Do I have Discord up still? What am I doing? Sorry. Well, let me, there we go. Problem solved. Sorry about that. Donna, do you work for Royal Caribbean? I do not. I do not work for Royal Caribbean at all. I just run RoyalCaribbeanblog.com. So I'm an independent website. I just cover Royal Caribbean. I'm just a big cruise fan. How do you get all the inside information? I love it. I'm just curious. I just keep my nose to the ground, ear to the ground. I'm not sure what the metaphor is anymore, but I just try to draw my best. I have a lot of helpful friends who maybe hear things as well. We've got, of course, our travel agent friends like Becky from MEI Travel, who will let me know when they hear things. Sometimes I get things directly from the cruise line, obviously. And in a lot of cases, it's just a matter of looking around. I know that seems almost like a silly answer. Like, okay, Matt, obviously, but seriously. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just one of those things that kind of know. I just look in all the places and hopefully I find it. That's all. But kind of lucky in that. And let's see here. Paul, when they rebooked the cruises, did the previous week passengers get first crack at rebooking? Good question. I have no idea. That's a great question, Paul. I don't know how they handled that in Singapore. So. Let's see. I think I caught up on all the comments right now. The questions. We have time for a couple more questions here. Gravel wants to know, are there still WOW bands on Royal Caribbean ships? As far as I know, the answer is yes. WOW bands are the RFID bracelets that you can use in conjunction with your SeaPass card. They're only available on about half a dozen ships, the Quantum class ships and a few of the Oasis class ships, but I've not heard much about that. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you guys, my understanding, my sense of it was that the Royal Caribbean was always going to phase out the WOW bands. They weren't. I mean, that being said, they kept on adding them to new ships, so what do I know? But the app seems to be more the future than the WOW bands were, because WOW bands came out in 2014 when Quantum of the Seas came out. And back then, that wearable technology was a bigger deal than it is now, because WOW bands cost money. There's a whole different it's hardware versus your phone, which everybody already has. Using that, there's an advantage to that. So a lot of the things going on, but this is a bigger conversation. I think of the direction of tech and mobile trends, if you will. But that's, again, that's a whole nother discussion right there. Let's see. Susan Lieberman, hello. We're talking about booking a cruise for November 2021. I have a big birthday 40th. Congratulations. We want to go on Odyssey, hoping for a non-COVID cruise, otherwise 2022. Susan, I hope you get to go on that. Sounds great. If you're looking for a cruise November 21, I'm just going to say, I'm going to put this out there. we're doing a Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise, Harmony of the Seas, over Thanksgiving 2021. Why don't you celebrate your 40th with a bunch of with all of us? That'd be great. Anyway, more information about that at royalcaribbeanblog.com/events. So, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Naya? I'm not sure. I booked an 8-night Mariner of the Seas cruise in July 2022 in the aft balcony. This is my first Royal Caribbean cruise, and I was just wondering if there is a good ship for first timers. I think that Mariner's a great ship. I tell people, I get this question a lot about, what ship should I book for a first timer? Listen, all things being equal, I would say first timer should lean towards the bigger, newer ships because they offer the most. You don't know what you don't know. You're not sure what to expect. So bigger, newer ships offer the most variety of options, activities, things to do. It's better suited for a new cruiser who is trying to figure out what everything is. And, anyway, but Mariner is a great ship. Been recently refurbished. Still a big ship. It's a great ship. It's a fun one. Lots to do on board. So, if you hadn't booked anything, I might say, yeah, you should go look at a Quantum or an Oasis class ship for 7 nights. But Mariner is not bad either. So don't look at it as a negative. Just something else to book afterwards. Todd Cohn, once we can do back-to-back cruises again, let me stop you right there. There's no reason you can't do back-to-backs. There's no protocol, no rule by Royal Caribbean or by the CDC that it says that you cannot do back-to-backs. I know that there's some information floating out there, maybe about other cruise lines. I can't speak for them, but there's no reason you can't do a back-to-back on Royal Caribbean because there's no policy that's been announced yet. That could change, but right now, today, December 7th, 2020, a date which will not live in infamy, that has not changed. Anyway, the first cruise back will put us in diamond status. Will we receive those benefits for the second cruise? If so, how? If you do absolutely nothing, Todd, the answer is no. But if you go talk to the loyalty ambassador when you're on cruise number 1, the loyalty ambassador on board can hook you up for cruise number 2. Just let them know what's happening. They'll be able to help you out there. So, Keith, I think it would be a good idea to waive the room service fee to help limit the amount of people in the restaurants and buffet. I think if you were Royal Caribbean, Keith, I would think you would say, well, there's limited capacity on the ships to begin with, so we don't have to do that. This isn't a ship that's got... Remember, when ships return to service, they're not returning to service at 100% capacity, Keith. We're talking about some percentage reduced capacity, whether that's 50, 30, 80, I'm not sure. But that reduced capacity is intended to alleviate problems like that. So it's Nija, but you were close. Naya? You think Naya was close? Nija, welcome. Glad to have you here. Welcome. So, Michael Metric, by the fall, things will be back to normal. What do you think? I think that by late spring, early summer, things we'll start seeing a pretty significant impact. Back to normal is a loaded statement there, Michael, because back to normal to me, you're talking pre-2019 experiences. That I'm not sure on. I think if I've learned one thing about COVID, you can't predict these things. You can't. There's no bold predictions because you're setting yourself up for failure. I don't know. I can tell you that by fall, yes, we'll be in a much different state than we are today. And I think most health experts believe that, again, late spring, early summer timeframe, the vaccine will be widespread enough to have a significant impact on the public health in general. And that would obviously alleviate a lot of things. But don't expect that, April 1 or something like that, or July 1 even for that matter, that, okay, you don't need to wear a mask on the cruise ship, 100% capacity. It's all going back to normal. I think it's going to be very slow. And don't forget, part of this reason, there's science, and there's also public relations. Because don't forget, guys, the cruise lines get constantly berated for even thinking about operating again. Because people think that going on a cruise ship is like, I don't know, like operating a submarine with no air or something. You know what I mean? Like they think it's preposterous. Meanwhile, 1,001 other industries are able to operate and have no government regulation at all in terms of COVID, and that's okay, but we ignore that fact. So anyway, Tony Diaz, back-to-back group cruise. Who's with me? I would, Tony. My wife, maybe not so much. Jason, what's my favorite Diamond Lounge drink? Jack and Coke. Or sorry, not Jack and Coke. Rum and Coke. I like that. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary is a great drink. I love Bloody Mary. I think I go for a Bloody Mary right there. So, Sorry about that. Wayne's got a question for us. We have a July 21 Alaska cruise out of Vancouver. Do you think it will be a go and the Canadian border be open? I have no idea, Wayne. I don't want to give you false hope. I simply don't know. No one knows. So I'll have to wait and see. Pam, I think we'll be wearing masks in certain areas for a long time. You might be right. Don't know. Have to wait and see. Kenny K is here. Love the latest blog post on Freedom Class. Do you think my phone will be my key? That's a good question. I don't know about that one, Kenny. I think in terms of the app, certain ships like Oasis of the Seas and Spectrum of the Seas, and I'm assuming Odyssey as well, that functionality is there. I know the door locks have to be changed out for that to occur. I'm not sure, Kenny, that on the Freedom Class they'll do that, but I would love for that to happen. Again, remains to be seen what's going to occur there. But I think that's going to be coming soon, more than maybe even before COVID. Flame says, I don't understand people who genuinely believe cruise ships are floating petri dishes when I have to go to school full time and in person. It's just it's a ignorant bias. They've never been on cruise ships before. They only know what they've read in the news. And in the news, if you only read the news and never go on a cruise, you would think that cruise ships are a place where people constantly fall overboard to their deaths. And if they're not falling overboard to their deaths, they're just coming down with every plague known to man, because by virtue of going on a cruise ship, you're basically walking into a CDC germ lab, But that's because that's all you hear about. The news doesn't report. And in other news today, Oasis of the Seas had another great sailing with nobody getting sick. All right. No, they only harp on the really bad stuff, and that gives cruising the bad name. And I'll admit, sometimes not about the things I mentioned, but there are some. Look, every company, including cruise lines, have missteps, but I think their reputation has been generally sullied by just slanted news coverage in general. So, let's see. Crystal, what's your favorite Oasis class ship? Harmony of the Seas. Love Harmony. Traveling on. What's up? If a family goes on to Disney and a few days after you get COVID, it's not on the news like a family has COVID on the ship. Yeah. Same is true if you get COVID at Starbucks or at your supermarket or at your school per se. They're not doing that kind of. They don't know where it comes from. Nobody asks you where you. I mean, they might ask you where you got it from, but they're not really. It's not as one to one. So you're absolutely right on that. But that's a conversation. We've had this rant many times, and we're preaching to the choir. You guys all get it, but yeah. John Doe, our Anthem of the Seas and Allure of the Seas not taking part in the initial opening phase and staying in Europe instead. No, John. Number one, we don't know what ships are in the initial opening phase. Royal Caribbean has not announced that. So the answer to your question is no, because we don't know yet. So yeah. Vicky, I booked my 2 different cruises, and COVID took care of that. My husband and I were going to celebrate me being 1 year cancer-free. Now we found out he has stage 3 lung cancer. Oh, no, Vicky. Well, I hope that your husband beats that just like you did, and I hope that you guys are able to celebrate on a cruise ship very, very soon, because I think that's definitely well-deserved right there. So, yeah. Nija, do you prefer a front-facing balcony or a back-facing? There aren't any front-facing balconies. There are front-facing rooms, but I would say aft-facing balconies is the way to go. Favorite drink at Wonderland? They have a lot of cool drinks. I don't remember any of the names of them. Whatever one has the smoke coming out of it, that's a cool one. So, there you go. All right, guys. On that note, I'm going to head on out of here. We've reached 48 minutes already being live. My goodness. Thank you for joining us here. Check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for plenty more Royal Caribbean news, information, fun, advice. Of course, we're live here every Monday. So if you got here late, like Tony Diaz, and you missed out on all the fun, like Tony Diaz, there's still plenty more Royal Caribbean fun, news, information, and advice waiting for you at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Don't forget also on tomorrow, we'll have a new video out for you guys on the YouTube channel, so check that out. Really appreciate all of you joining me here. Thank you to Jason Chen for the super chat. Thank you, Beatrice, for the super chat. Beatrice, you have like the longest YouTube name ever. Thank you. Enrique, thank you for the super chat. And Cruise Addicts, thank you for the super chat as well. Guys, I hope you all have a great week. Stay safe out there. Do something fun, and we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody. Doo-doo.